So hey guys, Gabriel here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that little film that I made, or a little test footage actually, of the Sony DVW 700. I tried to capture as many situations as possible for this camera to give it the best chance, because one cool fact about this camera, it's actually the first digital cinematography camera. And this camera is actually the father to the Sony DVW F900, which is the camera that George Lucas used to film Attack of the Clones, which I thought was a pretty cool fact. But yeah, this camera is basically the birthplace of all digital cinematography, whether you love it or hate it. Now, one thing I should make clear, this is not the widescreen version. This is the standard definition version of the Sony DVW 700. There's the WS, and then there's just the 700. WS obviously stands for widescreen. Now, I'm still trying to learn all this crazy stuff about cameras. I don't even know how to learn the basics of my camera that I used to film these videos with. But yeah, if you want to see what the camera looks like, this is what it looks like. It has this little drawer for, like, pretty sure it's like pre-SD, but it's like a little like memory card to store all your settings and everything, because there's a bunch of settings on this camera that I do not want to touch, because if I do, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna break something in here, because I've already broken something. Yes, because when I was trying to capture all these tapes and everything, the only way you can truly capture the digital raw output from these, because this is a digital camera, is that the only way you can capture like the raw digital output is through SDI. Now, when I was buying this camera, I thought the video output on the back of it was a digital output. Turns out, I think it's, well, I think this is analog. This is an analog output, because when I bought an accessory for it that does capture SDI, which I then broke, the connector looks like this. So I was like, okay, so this is just analog. So what I did was I bought a cable that goes to analog BNC to RCA. I plug it into the back. I then bought a Dazzle capture card. I first bought like a cheap Temu capture card, which was a big fucking mistake. So buy you a Dazzle if you want to get actual good quality. Plug it into the video, boom, and then you can just buy an extra set of cables that goes to XLR to RCA, plug it into the audio out port like that, and then plug the rest of the cables into the Dazzle, and that's how you basically get all the capturing. Now back to this. Now this is a Sony CA701. Now this is supposed to actually capture SDI out. Now when I bought this, I thought it was just going to work, and it did work, kinda. Everything seemed to work on this thing except the SDI. Like, all the audio channels worked, this screen worked up here. Everything seemed to work except the SDI output. And then I started fiddling with the thing more, and I started breaking it more and more. Well, not breaking it, I just fiddled with some of the things. And then I tried to take out this whole like connector thing right here. Don't know if you can see it, but right there. And this thing was like loose before. This thing was loose before, exactly when I bought it. So I thought it had to be something with this little connector thingy. I opened the whole entire thing, trying to see what was wrong with it, put it back together, and yeah, it didn't work. Turns out these little prong little thingies are bent, and let's just say, yeah, this thing does not work anymore. And now it just makes the camera look even bigger. Because with this thing, it is huge, this camera, and it weighs like 17 pounds with this thing on it, and I'm pretty sure without it it's like 15 pounds. So you can imagine me trying to get all these shots while in a car, because most of the time I was in a car while filming these shots, and carrying this thing in the car and trying to keep the camera steady was really fucking hard. Another thing I want to point out, for some of the footage that was so shaky, I don't have a tripod for this thing, because the video tripods that go for these big professional cameras go for like $200, and the base plate for them goes over like $50, so it's like you're paying like $300 in total just for keeping this thing still. So yeah, but yeah, all the footage that you guys just saw wasn't the real digital footage. It's analog converted to digital. But yeah, that's basically the whole camera. I mean, I can show you one more time. ND filters, which I had no idea how the fuck to use them. I basically just keep the whole thing on D1 half the time because I don't know any of these video terminology things that they use. I'm trying to read a book on the Sony DVW 700. Yes, there is a dedicated book to this camera. Hold up, let me show you. This book, Digital Cinematography by Paul Wheeler, which they mentioned the book. I mean, they mentioned the camera. All throughout the book, they use the Sony DVW 700 and the Sony DVW 790. And this is what my camera would have looked like if I bought all the expensive shit for it, but I only got the body. For the Sony DVW 700, that's supposed to like save all your settings and everything. Like I think I already talked about that, but in the book they mentioned like there was a pack that gave you like these film grains, which I wish I would have had because I want to give this thing like a film look. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later. Bye. Before I go, actually, I just want to say that when I was editing this video and everything, I actually reached 800 subscribers. It's a pretty huge milestone for me. I really didn't expect to get to 800 subscribers, especially for the piss poor performance of uploading schedules I've been, having, basically, because of just shit's been happening behind closed doors and just shit's not going well. Stuff isn't really going well, especially at my job and everything. Been told a lot of information and I really want to quit. And a lot of things happening with friends and everything, and yeah, it's just not been going well, but luckily I have 800 people who decided to say, hey, we're gonna just subscribe to you. Even though the view count doesn't show it, it's just like, I mean, at least I had 800 people click a button for me. So, really excited, and I'm really, really happy that I got to this milestone. I'm planning to work on something, hopefully, and hopefully, shit gets better, life gets better, and yeah. See you guys later. Bye.